Howdy and welcome back to the channel. I am Country Boy, and today we're going to be filling out our wrestling roster, at least the Ninja Turtles wrestling roster, because we got the 4 Ninja Turtles, and today we got some opponents of theirs. We're going to be looking at Crying Hound and Leatherhead. Both of them are from NECA's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventure Series line. Let's start off with Crying Hound. You can see a nice big window packaging, big box, an image of Crying Hound right there, and that is Crying Hound. No D, not a hound, but a hound. And the Ninja Turtles Adventure Series, as you can see. And then on the side, you got a smaller image of Crying Hound and some tearing and some comic booky looking ripping. On the back here, you got a bunch of images of the actual action figure as well too, plus some other figures that are in this line, like Belly Bomb and the Stump Wrestlers, which we have, the Ninja Turtles, and then Leatherhead, which we are going to be opening as well too. And then on this side, nice big image of Crying Hound. Go back to the front and then to the top, you can see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo with the Adventure Series. And then on the bottom, these are the people that are responsible for making this figure happen, and give them the credit that they deserve. They definitely deserve some credit. Then we'll take a look at Leatherhead here, and looking at him, he's a much smaller package, and I appreciate that. It's not nearly as big, but you can see same idea. The motif is all going to be the same. You can see Leatherhead right there, Leatherhead right there. You can see the Ninja Turtles logo right there. Go to the side, you can see Leatherhead on the side, image of him from the comic book, and then on the back you got a bunch of images of him from the actual action figure, and then some other figures in this line like Mondo Gecko, Belly Bomb, and Crying Hound, as we're going to be opening. Nice big image of Leatherhead right there. Go to the top and you can see the same image as before, Ninja Turtles on the bottom there. There's the people that are responsible for this action figure. But now there's nothing left to do but to get into the packaging. And upon opening the packaging, I like seeing in the back there that they got a big image of Cuddly the cow, the cosmic cow that brings the Ninja Turtles to outer space to do all the wrestling. That's kind of cool they had that in the insert there. But let's take a look at Crying Hound himself, the 4-armed dog man that wrestles, who's definitely inspired by, I would say, Bret Hart with the pink singlet that he's wearing. Definitely has some inspiration there, I would think. But the size of this guy, definitely probably more of a Big Show or Andre the Giant type guy, because he is monstrous size compared to the Ninja Turtles and to Leatherhead. But he looks cool. He definitely looks like he does in the comic book. Very cartoony looking. One thing I kind of wish he came with maybe like a secondary head with his mouth is open, because he just comes with the one static pose that he has with the face. But before we look at too much of him, let's look at some of his other accessories, which is literally just some hands. He's got some hands. So he's got these hands here, which is just for like reaching or holding or grabbing. Pretty basic. There's one single color, but very cartoony looking. And then you got these ones are kind of like the Shaka Bra, kind of like wait, surfs up dude, kind of. That's what they look like to me anyways. And then you got these ones. This one is they got 2 with the 2 fingers, and this one is a 2 with the 2 fingers like this. So it's like 2 count. Like I'm guessing like when you don't quite pin a guy and you only get the 2 count. And I'm assuming that's the reasoning for these hands with these fingers. But let's take a look at Crying Hound. Like, he's pretty cool. He's got some dog tags. He's a dog, so he's got some dog tags, I guess. Must have been in the army or something. And that's on a string, but it is, looks like it's either glued or it's like inserted into the back here, so it does not come off of him. It stays on him, which is good because you won't lose him. You won't lose it that way. But he's got these kind of like goofy kind of ears that come at the top. He's got definitely a dog-looking face with a derpy kind of a mouth. It looks cool. I like the level of detail. The feeling of this is like a matte kind of a feel to this. It definitely has that NECA level of quality that you kind of expect from their cartoon action figures. And he looks like you would think, got the big like Converse type shoes that people definitely would have wore in the 80s and 90s. I'm pretty sure I had some Converse shoes back in the day too. This guy looks awesome. He definitely looks like the Crying Hound that beats up the Ninja Turtles when they first arrived on the planet. Looking cool. But while we're here, let's take a look at some of articulation. And the head goes around like that, so you can do a full swivel of the head and a bunch of movement back and forth, up, down. He's got more movement than I actually would have thought for a big beefy dude like this. Beefarino. This guy is a beefy guy. And then his arms, he's got 4 of them. So the top right arm, I'm gonna say, goes up about that far and down about that far, definitely hindered by the arm below it, but you can spin it around like so all the way around if you need to. No butterfly joints or anything like that, but whatever, you're not gonna expect it from a NECA figure most times anyways. So then you got the elbow, and it bends like so. It's a pretty minimal movement. I would say not even 9 degrees. That is very very minimal. And then you got the wrist, so that swivels all the way around, and then it has a back and forth, a little bit stiff, but he does have movement, so not bad. It's a decent amount of movement. And then the lower arms, we'll take a look at those, see if they're any better. The arms, they're just as stiff. They're not going to do too much more than your top ones are. Actually, they'll probably do a little bit less because they're even more hindered by the legs below them and the arm above them. So the same level of detail, same level of movement in the wrists and the hands. I guess I just realized there's technically, he comes with 6 extra hands, but he has 4 hands on him, so he's technically got 10 hands total. He's got fisted hands over here on the tops, and he's got these open splayed out hands on the bottoms. So he's got a variety of hands, which is nice. You kind of want a variety of hands when you got some big dudes like this that do some fighting. His articulation in the waist, so he does have a bit of an ab crunch. Not going to be a whole lot of movement. His singlet kind of hinders that. Plus, he's not built for much movement, but he has slight movement, as you can see in the ab crunch right there. And then the legs, they will go out about that far, which is, not bad for a bigger dude. He's not bad. It's not the greatest, but it's not bad. They kick forward quite nicely, though. Quick kick forward. And then his leg goes back about that far. Oh, I actually popped his leg off right there. So just be careful. It doesn't break it or anything like that. It pops off. It's just when you go too far, obviously you're reaching the limits of how far this guy's legs can go. And so yeah, there you go. There's the limit of what you're gonna get from his legs without popping the leg actually off. The knee, you do get double jointed knees. So let's see how that looks. And he does go back quite a ways. Almost able to kick his own butt. But they are shorter legs. They're not super long or anything like that. And he does have pins in the legs. There aren't any pins in the arms, but the legs, you can definitely see the pins. And then the feet, so he does have movement, ankle rocker right there. So that's actually a really good ankle rocker, surprisingly. Wouldn't have thought it'd be that much, but he rocks really good. And then it goes forward and back, so ballerina pose like that. Pretty good. Not a great level of articulation, but also not the worst level of articulation that I've seen in the world. Maybe could have been a little bit better in that sense, but when you're looking at this guy, you're getting him more for the aesthetic. You want him to look more like Crying Hound, like he did from the comic book, and I think this guy definitely nails that look. So next we're going to take a look at Leatherhead and kind of see how he fares. And now looking at the Leatherhead, this guy's from the Bayou. That's the way he talks. And I'm not gonna do that the rest of this episode. No, that's gonna hurt my throat, and you're gonna hate me. But this is Leatherhead, looking awesome. He's got his wrestling trunks on. I love the way this guy looks. He definitely looks like the cartoon, comic book version of him from the Archie comics. And he looks really awesome. I love the level of detail. He's got the different greens. He's got like a dark green. He's got like a lighter green. He's got some yellowing. Just a good wash going on. But before we get to looking at him for too much, let's look at some of his accessories, which are these hands right here. So he's got these holding hands. So you're gonna put a weapon in his hand. You can totally do that. Make him bash some Ninja Turtles if you want to, or Crying Hound. Maybe they're fighting each other. Or you've also got these hands right here, which is more like the splayed out, relaxed, kind of just frying pan hands. You can go ahead, smack your opponent in the chest, make it nice and red. That's what these hands are more for. But looking at him, there's no more accessories other than that, just the 2 hands, the 2 sets of hands. He's got a good look to him. This guy looks like Leatherhead. This is how I picture him in the comic book. So cool. I love this guy. I like the yellowy, the eyebrows, the thick eyebrows that he has. He's got like the teeth, the sharp teeth, but very cartoony looking. Like you can see him like in like a Disney cartoon or something almost. It's awesome. And then the mouth, it opens and closes. It's articulated. That is so cool. I honestly wasn't sure if that was a thing or not. To see that it is awesome. And then you also got like kind of like the spine, but it's actually the shoulder blades. It has kind of these spikes that go on down the back like a crocodile or an alligator. Really cool. I love the level of detail on this guy. And he has similar kind of boots as Crying Hound does. I guess they're kind of like Converse boots, wrestling boots, if you will. Looking good. I love the look of this guy through and through. Like even just like the black line work that they do to make it look more comic booky. Fantastically done. And one thing, I was surprised. I didn't know this was a thing, but we got ourselves a wide tail. That is awesome. And it's a thick tail too. Like it is a big, thick alligator, crocodile-like tail. And he looks cool. Let's look at some of our articulation while we are looking at him. Starting with the head, it goes very minimal. So the movement is gonna be very minimal. That probably is because he's got like this big, thick jowl and neck and all that stuff. It doesn't have much movement, but he does go side to side a little bit, and you can spin and rotate just slightly. The arms go up that far, I guess, and they go down about that far. Very minimal. They do spin all the way around though. Does he have bicep? He does have a bicep cut. So unlike Crying Hound, he does have a bicep cut. So so you can do some movement there. He does have a single jointed elbow, and that's minimal movement as well too, similar to Crying Hound. You're not going to get a whole lot of movement in the elbow. And then you got the wrist goes all the way around, and it goes forward and it goes back like such. Not bad. Let's see how he does with the ab. The ab, is much more movement than I'd say that Crying Hound had. So he's got lots of movement backwards and forwards, and you can swivel him around. Oh, you can still, you know what? He also has a cut around the waist as well too. That's nice. So he can do a full spin if you want. You can look at his own butt. That is cool. That's very good movement there. And then the legs will kick out like such. There you go. You got not bad movement. They go forward like that. They go backward like that. So I'm loving these shorts. I don't know why. I like the look of these shorts. I want these shorts. And then his knees. He only has a single jointed knee, it looks like. So you're not going to get the same amount of movement as he did with Crying Hound. But it works for the character. He looks good. And then you also got some no boot cut. I thought there might be a boot cut, but there is no boot cut. But the movement of the ankle rocker is good. He's got a lot of movement there. He's got the side to side. He's got the forward and back ballerina pose, looking good. And then yeah, he just looks like a really awesome dude. I'm gonna be having a lot of fun wrestling him with my Ninja Turtles. So without further ado, let's get some comparisons going with some Ninja Turtles and these guys. Hey, I hope you're enjoying this episode, and if you are, please, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like, hit that subscribe, hit the bell on the side, leave some comments down below. I am CountryBoy_9, but I'm also known as CountryBoyNiner. A whole bunch of different places, like right here on YouTube. I'm also on TikTok and Letterboxd and on Instagrams, all those different places. Check me out, you will find me somewheres. But I'm also on another channel with my friends called Wasted Opinions. We have a blast. We talk video games, movies, TV shows, comic books, Ninja Turtles. We talk a whole bunch of different stuff. Just check us out. We'll have a lot of fun. There's also another channel with one of my friends called Mallard Matinee. We have a lot of fun. We talk about movies. We watch movies, we do reviews, and we do a synopsis of the whole movie as much as we can. And we have so much fun doing that. New movies, old movies, fun movies, crappy movies. You never know what we're going to talk about next. Check us out. You'll have lots of fun with that as well too. But without further ado, let's get back to Crying Hound and Leatherhead. And comparison size-wise, you can see that the Crying Hound is the big dog in this fight. He definitely dwarfs Leatherhead a little bit, a couple inches there. Definitely the bigger dude. And they do look really cool together. I like the way these guys both look. I'll do some comparisons with some Ninja Turtles then as well. So we got Michelangelo here, definitely a lot smaller than Crying Hound. He definitely dwarfs the Ninja Turtles, and that's probably why he's able to take all four of them at one time. Here is Leonardo, same idea. He's just as big as he was compared to Michelangelo. Really big dude. And then Leatherhead, obviously not as big, but he still is a bit taller than the Ninja Turtles, which is right. That's what it should be. I feel like Leatherhead should always be bigger than the Ninja Turtles, and that's the proper sizing that I would put them at right here. Is this guy compared to Raphael? Looks really good. And then I'll compare him to Donatello too, because I can't leave Donnie out. I gotta have him as well. So he's also the exact same size as the other Ninja Turtles, and that's just how everybody kind of fares together. Everybody looks really awesome. I'm loving this line, and I can't wait to get Ace Duck. So that is going to do it for Crying Hound and Leatherhead. These guys look really cool, they feel cool, and they definitely match the motif, the look of the comic book back in the day when I used to read it. I'm really happy with the way these turned out. Maybe the articulation could have been a little bit better, but I'm not going to nitpick too much. I get what I expect from a NECA figure. They're more for the looks than they are for the articulation. And that is going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. For now, I am Country Boy, and I put the sass in Sarsaparilla. But as always, be sure to let me know what you figure. Hey, you've made it this far, and there are some other videos that I'm sure that you would like. I got tons of Ninja Turtle stuff, But if you don't like Ninja Turtle stuff, I don't know why you watch this video, but if you don't want Ninja Turtle stuff, then I got a bunch of other stuff as well too that you can check out. I'm sure you're gonna enjoy some of that as well too. You just never know what might tickle your fancy.